At ease, brother Shalom. You know, man, in today's video, man, I'm gonna tell you why marriage-minded men that are searching for a wife don't care about a woman's degrees 99% of the time. It has no value in marriage. Let's talk about it.
It really is true. The more that women accomplish, the harder it is to fucking date. One of the biggest lessons I ever learned, or harshest realities I ever, had to come to, is realizing that men do not care about your accomplishments as a woman. They don't care about your education. They don't care about your degrees. They don't care about how much money you're making. They don't care about, what businesses you're running. They don't care about any of that stuff.
A woman in the Harvard Law dating scene, something that I think about so much, how much harder it is for highly successful, well-educated women to find a partner who is their match than men. As well, a woman at Harvard Law is typically looking for a man who is professionally, intellectually, their equal. A lot of men don't have the same mentality.
I used to believe that men look for women who have a career or have education, or at least the principle that I used to operate under is if I'm going to demand that of a man, I should at least be able to deliver that, which is why, part of the reason why I got my degree and then I started down my career. And then my dating preference was always the man had to make as much money as myself or higher, right? And when you look at men, they really honestly don't care. And it wasn't until I got with my fiance, and it offended me at first because I worked so hard to get to where I was, to making the amount of money that I was making. And he made it abundantly clear, like, that does not matter at all.
For the most part, in most communities, men make more money than women. So they have the luxury of being able to date for things outside of stability, even general, sometimes even compatibility. They can date for whatever reason they want to. Whereas women, sometimes we're looking for other stuff. We can have $1 million in the bank. A lot of women would still want a man that has more money than
all of the bills, pay for my car and all these things. That means that whatever I bring to the table wouldn't matter because he can take care of it. And if you find a man that can take care of everything, then your money does not matter. It's not going to make a difference. And we as women that get a decent amount of money more than our man, we act like the man is not even valuable anymore. He's not respected at all. Making the same amount of money like a man or making more than him should not take away the respect that you have for him. You either need to be satisfied that your bills are being paid and stop worrying about the next Gucci bag that you can grab.
All praise to the Most High Yah Shalom. Thank you for tuning in to another righteous Ruach Spirit-filled episode. Today I'm back at In Them Trenches handling that kingdom business. First and foremost, man, I'll start off with this. There is nothing wrong with a woman seeking higher education. You saw in the clips that some women don't understand why marriage-minded men don't value a woman's degree. So men would rather say, you know what, man, I'd rather stay single and maintain my peace than to have to take on the workload of having a woman who is not gonna fulfill what I need her to do and be a helpmeet. You gotta understand, man, a man takes a wife for him to have a helpmeet, not a woman who's willing to help herself. And a lot of women that have degrees, I'm not saying all, but some of them get in there and don't fulfill their function of marriage because they think their education gives them a reason not to. Man, I'll post a clip in here of a well-educated woman and just listen to the verbiage that she's talking about and how she's leaving her marriage, and you'll see what I'm saying is a reality.
So I have decided to share a little bit more than I'm comfortable with. So I am 40 years old. I'm in law firm. Most of you probably already know that. And I'm going through a divorce. Actually, let me be real and honest with you guys. I'm going through my second divorce. I think it is really hard to try to create a life where you have it all. And I've clearly tried and failed twice to do that. So while I'm not going to go into details as far as the cause of the divorce or whose fault it is, obviously it's both of our faults. But I will just say that I think it's really hard to own and grow a super successful business and also have balance and happiness and peace in all of the other areas of your life. I don't think it's impossible. I don't think that you can't choose a few areas to really excel in and give your all. But to give 100% of you to every single area of your life and have it all be super successful and perfect all the time is not possible, at least not for me. So I'm doing fine. My foster girls are doing fine. My daughter is doing fine. We are working through it and we are coping as best we can. I will update you guys based on what is going to happen with the foster license that we currently have because we have it as husband and wife. I have just informed the agency. I was super nervous to inform them because I don't want to lose my girls and I don't want to put them through having to be moved from a place that is stable and where they're happy. I don't know if they're going to take them from me. I don't know if they're going to take them from me permanently, temporarily, or not at all. But I will definitely share that information.
In order to break this down, we must put this into context based upon the expectations of the Most High Yahweh and what majority of women actually want from men. Simple logic and risk assessment will prove why more men are moved to marry women without degrees. If one of my daughters were seeking higher education and we were in conversation and they were thinking that this would make them more valuable to marriage-minded men, I would stop them dead in their thoughts and break it down like this. Reason number one, majority of women with degrees that desire a man to marry them are bringing in a large amount of debt. A large amount of debt to the relationship and have been making minimum payments towards it or have them in deferment. This does not stop women from spending money on vanity when they should be repaying back their debts. Statistically, more men pay off their student loans more expeditiously than women. A man works to provide a means and his debt is associated with the needs of the family, i.e. mortgage. A woman's student loan debt doesn't serve that same purpose. A woman with outstanding student loans can't be a housewife or homeschool her children because she is obligated to work in order to pay back her debt, in which she will do at a slow rate. Crazy fact is, man, I want you to understand, there's not all these women out there that are getting full rides. The truth is, less than 1% of educated women with degrees get full rides to college, meaning they will have no debt associated with their degree. Men, this is a question you need to pry into when you're courting a young lady. Man, Proverbs chapter 22, verse 7 says, the rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is a servant to a lender. Man, one of the main reasons why she's not going to be a Proverbs 31 and fulfill the domestic duties and she's going to struggle in this area is because she's a slave to the lender. She borrowed that money and it's constantly going to be over her head until she takes care of it. Reason number two, character matters more than credentials. As a business owner, I would value a woman with a degree because of the institutional knowledge she has towards duty description or her job description that I need her to fulfill. But a man seeking a wife only values virtue and a woman that knows how to be a helpmeet or fulfill her role as a wife outlined by the Most High Yahweh. Reason number three, majority of women want a man that is a provider. Man, when we look at the exorbitant laundry list of things that women expect out of a man, some of them biblical, a lot of them not, man, they're all going to say, majority of them are going to say, man, I want a man that is provider. We don't have a plethora of these educated women saying, nah, man, I want to pay the bills. I want to go 50-50. Majority of marriage-minded men don't seek a woman for her provisions because providing is our biblical function. A woman's degree benefits her and not the household. The money she makes from having a degree doesn't have value to a man that is capable of paying the bills of necessity. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. If anyone fails to provide for his own, and especially of those of his own family, he has denied the faith by disregarding its precepts and is worse than an unbeliever who fulfills his obligation in these matters. And that's one of the instructions for our duty description as being providers as men. Number 4, men value domestic skills over women with degrees. Majority of women with degrees that have children don't use their degrees to pour into their children and have no problem sending their children to the public school system so someone else other than the mother can educate them. When the children are young, after a couple weeks of giving birth, her desire to put children in daycare becomes an additional bill to a man because after birth, she is ready to get back to career. And you have to think, man, it is career-oriented women that have the most postpartum issues. Titus chapter 2, verse 4-5, so that they may encourage the young women to tenderly love their husbands and their children, to be sensible, pure, makers of a home where Yahweh is honored, good-natured, being subject to their own husbands, so that the word of Yahweh will not be dishonored. Reason number 5, men value teachability. Women have no problem being taught by college institutions, but everything she learns to get these degrees does not translate to her being a teachable wife. Women with degrees divorce their husbands at a 20% higher rate than women without degrees. Beta, or risk assessment, proves logically this is not a good choice for a man. Many women with degrees that are unmarried are often the ones that refuse to allow a man to lead in the home because they will undermine and question his leadership and judgment due to their education, often proving themselves stubborn and unteachable in the institution of marriage. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11 through 15. A woman should learn in quietness and full submission. I do not permit a woman to teach or assume authority over a man. She must be quiet. For Adam was formed first, then Eve, and Adam was not the one deceived. It was the woman who was deceived and became a sinner. But the woman will be saved through childbearing if they continue in faith, love, and holiness with propriety. Man, you always hear women say it's a certain type of woman that says, man, you just want me pregnant at home and flat-footed, doing slaving at home. Nowadays, women are talking about their domestic duties as like it's slavery, when the Most High Yah outlined a woman's role. Reason number 6, the main achievement men care about when selecting a wife is virginity, virtue, and domestic skills. Oftentimes, the more education a woman has, the more sexually immoral and sexually irresponsible she has been, the higher her education goes. Look at the statistics on the percentage of women that arrive at college virgins versus those that lose their virginity to men that are not their husbands while attending college. Reason number 7, a woman's education does not equal wisdom. When a good man, when a set-apart man, when a man that's focused on serving the Most High Yah and his heart is after the Most High Yah, man, he values wisdom over education. Reason number 8, women get higher education to prove value to everyone else except the man that is looking for a wife. That doesn't benefit the family, and a man works with or without a degree for the benefit of the family. So the justification, the reasons for getting it, you got to understand, like I said in the beginning, man, there's nothing wrong with anybody having education, striving for higher learning. But men are telling women right now in this day, time, and hour that they don't value a woman's education when looking for a wife. And I just wanted to outline some of the reasons why that is. 8 reasons why a woman's degree, whether it be a bachelor's, whether it be an associate's, whether it be a master's, whether it be a doctorate, men don't value that because it doesn't equate to the function that we need women to perform. Now, a lot of these women, man, they will ear hustle on this video, and in their head, they're saying, man, that's not the everything he outlined is the role that I don't want to fulfill. I'm looking for a man that doesn't want me to be that. And this is why these same women that are ear hustling on this video, this is why they don't have the caliber of men they want, because the caliber of men that they want, these are the expectations. And men aren't budging from that. Once again, this is the Set Apart Man, kicking that thing gun barrel straight. Until next time, stay set apart, stay disciplined, stay in the word of the Most High Yahweh.